College football fans, you better get ready because this season is shaping up to be pure quarterback madness. Forget your fantasy leagues for a second. This isn't about spreadsheets and projections. This is about the wild unpredictability that comes with the quarterback position. And here's the twist. Last year's headliners have left the building. Cam Ward went first round to Tennessee. Jalen Milroe went third round to Seattle. Dylan Gabriel went third round to the Cleveland Browns. And Shedeur Sanders went fifth round again to the Cleveland Browns. So it's officially time for a new sheriff to ride into town. That means fresh faces, wild storylines, and one truth we learn every year. Preseason hype is a liar with great hair. So grab a snack, maybe 3, and let's break down the quarterbacks you need to watch in 2025, why they matter, and how this season could turn your Saturdays into a weekly blood pressure test. And make sure to keep watching for my own 2025 prediction of the next quarterback that's going to be the king of college football. Okay, first section I like to call the Heisman contenders. Let's start with Arch Manning, Texas Longhorns. The headline act, the most watched quarterback in America, finally has the keys at Texas, and the supporting cast is real. If you didn't already know this, Arch is the son of Cooper Manning, Peyton and Eli's older brother, who was once a promising wide receiver himself before a spinal condition ended his career. But now with Texas old starting quarterback Quinn Ewers moving on and getting drafted by the Miami Dolphins, Arch officially has the starting role. He brings a big arm, clean mechanics, and a poise that looks inherited from his famous uncles. He'll have to prove it against a brutal schedule out of the gate, opening with Ohio State in week 1 and facing a tough early stretch that also includes Michigan and Oklahoma. But if Texas rolls, Arch will be center stage all year. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU Tigers. Garrett is a redshirt junior, but also the nation's leading returning passer in yards per game and an aggressive downfield thrower. In practice, he's shown more confidence in his progressions, and LSU's new offensive coordinator has been emphasizing tempo and spacing to maximize his arm talent. The key here is cutting down interceptions. He clocked in 12 interceptions last year, which is close to 1 per game. Also, without Malik Neighbors as his top target, his chemistry with a young but athletic receiving core will dictate whether LSU stays in the playoff hunt. Cade Klubnik, Clemson Tigers. He's seen steady year-over-year improvement, and now he's entering his junior season with a stronger grasp of offensive coordinator Garrett Riley's scheme. They went 10-4 last year, not terrible, but still not enough to earn a spot in the college football playoffs. That said, reports out of training camp say his timing and decision-making have sharpened, and his offensive line looks improved after offseason shuffling. So if the Tigers stretch the field against top ACC rivals and stack wins, Klubnik goes from solid to spotlight. Bryce Underwood, Michigan Wolverines. A true freshman phenom, rated the #1 recruit in the entire 2025 class. He started at Belleville High School in Michigan, where he was a state champion and the consensus top quarterback prospect. At 6'3", with an elite arm strength and mobility, he impressed in spring practices with poise beyond his age. Recruiters rave about his physical tools, but caution that sometimes he locks onto his first read and can try to force throws, habits that could easily be costly against Big Ten defenses. Michigan's new OC has promised a balanced attack leaning on Donovan Edwards in the run game, which gives Underwood breathing room to grow. Expect him to get training wheels early, but he has the upside to be a program-defining player if he adapts quickly to the college game. Julian Sayin, Ohio State Buckeyes. The Ohio State college football champs of last year are gone. Key running back Quinshon Judkins and receiver Emeka Egbuka both went to the NFL, and most importantly, starting quarterback last year, Will Howard, is now on the Steelers. So it's their new quarterback, Julian Sayin's time to shine, and he's on the wild card watch. The former 5-star from Carlsbad, California, originally committed to Alabama, but then Nick Saban retired, and that led to his transfer. He enters 2025 as a true sophomore, but did not play at all at Alabama. So we really have no idea if he can hang at the collegiate level. In camp, he's been praised for quick reads and chemistry with an elite receiver room led by Jeremiah Smith. The Buckeyes open against Texas in week 1, meaning Sayin's trial by fire will be immediate. If he stays upright, though, and decisive behind a retooled offensive line, the numbers could be video gamey. This section I like to call the breakout crew, aka you'll Google them by week 3. Let's start with DJ Lagway, Florida Gators. DJ Lagway is a true freshman at Florida, ranked as a 5-star recruit and one of the top quarterback prospects in the 2024 recruiting class. He starred at Willis High School in Texas, where he put up huge passing and rushing numbers that made him one of the most coveted recruits in the nation. Early reports from practice in Gainesville says he's shown explosive arm talent, big play aggression, and a highlight reel that can go viral on any snap. Recruiters rave about the upside, but caution that his decision-making and consistency will need polish against SEC defenses. Florida also has a new offensive coordinator installing more tempo, and the roster around him is still young, so growing pains are expected. But keep an eye on health and decision-making. If he stays on the field and adapts quickly, he's appointment viewing. LaNorris Sellers, the South Carolina Gamecocks. LaNorris Sellers broke out last year as a redshirt freshman and became one of the most exciting dual threats in the SEC, bullying defenses late in the season with his legs and arms. He played his high school ball at South Florence High School in South Carolina, where he was highly ranked 4-star recruit. In 2024, Sellers flashed enormous upside, also threw 6 interceptions across limited starts, which raised questions about decision-making. Now entering 2025 as a redshirt sophomore, he's had a full offseason to develop as the unquestioned starter. South Carolina also made some staff adjustments on offense, bringing in a new quarterback coach to help refine his mechanics. And the receiving core added speed through the portal. If he cleans up the giveaways, he's the SEC headache nobody wants. Sam Leavitt, Arizona State Sun Devils. Sam Leavitt is entering his redshirt sophomore season at Arizona State after transferring in from Michigan State, where he saw limited action as a freshman. A former 4-star recruit out of West Linn High School in Oregon, he was ranked among the top dual threat quarterbacks in his class. Last year, he showed flashes in spot duty, but also struggled with turnovers, which has fueled some skepticism about consistency. Now with more control of the offense under ASU's new offensive coordinator, he's expected to take a big leap. Coaches like his toughness and leadership, and the Sun Devils added veteran linemen through the transfer portal to give him some better protection. If he cuts down on mistakes, his toughness and unpredictable playmaking could elevate him from being just a concern for defenses to a full-blown nightmare every week. John Mateer, Oklahoma Sooners. John Mateer is entering his junior season and transferred to Oklahoma after spending time at UC Davis, where he showed promise as a dual threat quarterback. He played his high school ball at Little Elm High School in Texas and was very lightly recruited before proving himself in the FCS ranks. Last season at UC Davis, he threw over 2,000 yards with 19 touchdowns and added more than 600 rushing yards, giving him a reputation as a true dual threat playmaker. At Oklahoma, he reunites with his offensive coordinator who knows his strengths well, which should ease the transition. The Sooners also retooled their offensive line and brought in additional receiver depth through the transfer portal. If the Sooners hum in the red zone and Mateer adjusts quickly to the SEC defenses, his pace, production, and familiarity with the system could translate into cartoon-level stats. Fernando Mendoza, Indiana Hoosiers. Fernando arrives at Indiana after making a name for himself at Cal, where he played well enough to climb onto some of the program's all-time passing list despite limited seasons under center. He flashed accuracy, leadership, and resilience, becoming a bright spot for the Bears. He even finished his tenure at Cal as the all-time leader in completion percentage. But with coaching changes at Cal and a crowded quarterback room, Mendoza decided to look elsewhere for a fresh start as a third-ranked quarterback in the transfer portal, and he eventually landed in Bloomington. Indiana, meanwhile, has surged in national attention thanks to the new head coach, Curt Cignetti, last year's National Coach of the Year, and arguably one of the hottest coaching hires in college football, leading the Hoosiers last year to their best record of all time, 11-1. And that was all just in Cignetti's first season. Indiana to Mendoza brings experience and poise to a program eager to rise in the Big Ten, and under Cignetti's fast-paced, disciplined system, he has a chance to turn Indiana into one of the league's surprise stories of 2025. On to the next section, new sheriffs and blue blood towns. Ty Simpson, Alabama football. Ty Simpson is entering his redshirt junior season and finally won the starting job after backing up Jalen Milroe in 2023 and 2024. A former 5-star recruit out of Westview High School in Martin, Tennessee, Simpson was one of the top quarterback prospects in the 2022 class. In limited action last year, he showed flashes with his arm strength, but also struggled at times with accuracy and decision-making, which raised skepticism about whether he could lead Alabama full-time. With new offensive coordinator changes in Tuscaloosa, the system is shifting to push the ball vertically and take advantage of his arm down. If the vertical game clicks and he can improve consistency, he'll erase a lot of doubts. CJ Carr, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame, as of August 19th, just named CJ Carr their starting quarterback for just week 1 against Miami. He is a true freshman and a 5-star recruit out of Saline High School in Michigan, and the grandson of former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr. He was ranked among the top quarterbacks in the 2024 recruiting class, known for accuracy and polish at a young age. This starting role wasn't given to him easily, though. He had to beat out Kenny Minshew, and that he did. Kenny, by contrast, is entering his redshirt sophomore season. He was a 4-star recruit from Hendersonville, Tennessee, and saw limited action in 2023 and 2024, showing flashes, but also battling some injuries. The Irish offense has a new play caller this year, and the staff has emphasized developing timing with a revamped receiving core. So if CJ doesn't show impeccable timing come week 1, he may be on the short leash with Kenny Minshew ready to take his place. All right, it's prediction time. The next phase of college football. Here's my personal pick. Arch Manning will be the quarterback of the 2025 season. I believe he's going to win the Heisman, and he has a strong chance of leading Texas to the national championship. The reasons are simple. He finally has a starting role with Quinn Ewers gone. His mechanics and pedigree give him a head start, and he's looked sharp in preseason practices. Texas has loaded talent on offense, including a veteran offensive line and dynamic play callers at receiver and running back. Add in a coaching staff that's shown steady improvement, and Arch has all the tools to thrive. The schedule is brutal early on, though, but if he navigates Ohio State, Michigan, and Oklahoma, he won't just be a star, he'll be the face of college football in 2025. So let's wrap up by saying embrace the mayhem. Here's the deal. The quarterbacks define the sport because they compress hope, fear, and chaos into 3 seconds per play. This year's group is is young, loud, mobile, and gloriously imperfect. The Heisman race will change 5 times before Halloween, the playoff picture will flip on a single option read, and every Saturday will remind you why you love this ridiculous game. So strap in, stock the snacks, keep a stress ball handy for the pick 6 you didn't deserve. Quarterback Chaos 2025 is here, and the crown is up for grabs. If you had fun, spike that like button and subscribe for more chaotic, hilarious, and painfully accurate college football breakdowns. Drop your pick for QB1 of 2025 below, and bonus points if you call the wild card before everyone else does. Peace!